Gamers Podcast. I am Casey Coggins here with Alvin Hebert.
What it is.
And Andrew Lira.
Into the fucking birdcage.
Yeah.
I was just going to start going into it and forgot to introduce us. But, you know, it's the Oscars were Sunday, and what I was about to tell Alvin, I figured I could just leave in or wait to say until we started recording, that, you know, I started listening to the Rewatchables podcast on the Ringer podcast network, and just listening to them discuss movies, and I was listening to their them talking like the Fast and the Furious and Con Air and all these great movies, and so that combined with the Oscars, I was like, we need to do like movie athletes or like sports movies and just kind of discuss, you know, our favorites or just kind of get into some of that and break away from, you know, the same old NBA or NFL.
You know what we should do too?
What should we do?
Once Kardashian start up again, we'll do a recap.
No.
What?
Dog.
Why?
No way in hell.
With all this Tristan and Jordy.
I don't give a
Kylie kicked her out and fucking put her shit on clearance.
I don't give a shit about any of them.
But you have to. It's Tristan Thompson.
It's Tristan Thompson.
If he left the NBA today, or if he played in the NBA today, it's not going to impact my life, and I'm not going to think twice about it. I'm not going to sit there tomorrow and be like, did Tristan Thompson retire today?
Is Tristan Thompson still playing?
Like,
I think he's injured.
He's hurt?
I think so.
His soul's broken.
Right.
His soul ain't broken. You watch the fucking interview. He said, I don't give a fuck. Shit.
He straight up don't.
He don't. He just look at him. You look at the camera, just, come on, man, let's go.
That's the true Canadian self. He is Canadian, you know that, right?
Wait, I'm trying to get the Canadian self. What does that mean?
They're just so like, eh.
But they're also nice, and they wouldn't do that. Not Canadian.
Well, I mean, it's.
Well, have you seen Drake?
I mean, yeah.
Or have you seen Tory Lanez?
What about them?
I mean, they're all about that life.
I know, but I'm saying.
And they're Canadian.
No, but I'm talking about Tristan cheating on his baby mama. That he left his prior baby mama
on which
to be
baby
with.
Mama?
See, it's that give and take.
You
it's
see,
like,
this shit's fucking
it's like,
good.
What gets to you more, the NBA life or the Canadian like heritage? And sometimes the NBA life is going to grab you. Like, look at Swaggy P.
Fucking Drake's still trying to get grabbed by his. Accept me. Accept me.
Which locker room?
Drake.
So
Dog, did you watch that?
Let's get back on track, because the Kardashians.
I'll be grabbing a wheelchair.
Ruin, no matter, like, I feel like Kardashian as a word is now like saying red rum in the mirror, like saying Candyman like 3 times.
You won't die.
It just ruins everything. It just ruins everything.
Nah.
Kim Kardashian ruined Kanye West.
No, she did not.
Reggie Bush.
No, Kanye West ruined Kanye West.
Reggie Bush.
Lamar Odom.
The receiver from... No, Kim wasn't with Lamar. That was Chloe.
Well,
He's talking about
Kardashians.
Travis Scott.
He's still good right now.
Technically, Jenner.
That doesn't count. They're on the other side.
Technically, Jenner.
The receiver from the Dallas Cowboys when he was hot with Tony Romo.
Miles Austin.
James Harden that 1 year.
James Harden.
Hey, look at him. He's prospering now.
Right, because he got rid of it.
He fucking kept himself in shape. He didn't show up at the beginning of the season all fat.
Well, because he was going on vacations to the Bahamas with Chloe all the time.
It was like 2 vacations. They were together for a summer, dog. Come on.
All right.
And he had to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was going on the same time that she was also like.
He was getting that
with
summertime
Tristan,
shootout.
too.
Yeah. Tristan.
Everyone's shooting at her.
Tristan had that good year when they won the championship, and then he gets to Chloe, drops down, and now he's injured.
Tristan Kardashian.
A whole lot of issues. But let's do this.
Ray J never got it.
Stop it.
Ben Simmons.
That's a Jenner.
Shut up. Scott Disick.
So we need to
He's a lord.
we need to get this going where this edition is going to be discussing our top 3 movie athletes, and really by top 3, I'm not really saying like who are the greatest movie athletes, but like who are our favorite movie athletes. Because trying to say who's like the greatest movie athlete, well, it's kind of the same thing for the most part, because it's just based off of who you like, what you see.
Essentially Michael Jordan, because he beat the Monstars and his arms stretched super long.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, automatically wins, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
He dunked from half court.
That's pretty unstoppable.
Facts.
But like, you know, you have the movie athletes as far as like the Rockies go, and
I thought we were gonna be talking about like straight who's the best athlete that was an actor, and I was like, fucking Shaq. Shazam.
Michael Jordan. He's the best athlete who was an actor.
You just mentioned it.
He's a one-hit wonder.
So we're gonna do this. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Just kind of one at a time. We'll say who's our third, and then we'll just kind of discuss it as a typical podcast goes. And I know I'm explaining how this works, and I don't need to, because
we're doing it.
Yeah, and if people
we know how to count.
The people who would listen to this would be like, is he really explaining how a top 3 list
This
goes?
is what we're gonna do. I will say 3. Then I will pass it to you. You will say 3.
So, I'm going to lead off with my third favorite movie athlete of all time, Doris Bannock from Cool Runnings.
We got a bobsled team.
Played by Leon Robinson. One of the reasons I put him here is... I explained this to Andrew yesterday when one of us didn't show up to record.
I'm sorry.
Is that not only did he end up being the driver of an Olympic bobsled team, but he became a driver of an Olympic bobsled team after failing to qualify as an Olympic sprinter. And the only reason he didn't qualify as an Olympic sprinter was because he got tripped. So he went from being a Jamaican 100-meter sprinter in the Olympics.
Usain Bolt.
Exactly.
There you go.
The long line of great Jamaican sprinters.
And bobsled teams.
And he decides, hey, I'm going to make it to the Olympics somehow. What's something that I might be able to do? And he goes and fucking starts driving a bobsled in Jamaica
with John Candy
on dirt
with no snow.
And it's just like, how do you do both? Like, imagine today somebody being like, imagine Usain Bolt being like, yeah, enough with this running.
Stay with an accent.
Junior.
No. Not gonna happen. I have to practice in the mirror 3 times before I can actually
One bad mother that don't take from nobody.
Call me now for your bumble.
You know I love you, man. When Paul Rudd tries to
slap in the base.
Yeah. Like, why do you sound like a leprechaun? Like, case in point. But yeah, like, imagine Usain Bolt being like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to do the fucking luge in the Winter Olympics and actually qualifying and making it to the Olympics.
I think it'd be easier to do because people luge on the street. There's streets in Jamaica, so I mean, he had a better chance of doing that than doing the fucking bobsled.
That's true. But like, Olympic athletes train so much for so long that it's like making it to the NBA or the NFL, where you've been playing this sport every day of your life pretty much for 10 to 20 years to where you got a good enough skill. I mean, in the NBA and NFL, you're blessed to be like 6'10", and and so it's all your life's work, and then to just say, you know what, I'm going to pick up this completely different sport that I've never done before and make it happen. That's why Doris Bannock is on my list. Also because I think Cool Runnings is like a top 3 sports movie for me also.
Classic.
But
top 3?
I'm just saying it's a classic.
So again, I don't know if y'all know my weird movie tastes, but my favorite movie of all time is Blue Streak.
That was a great movie, though.
That was a great movie.
But who like
says that?
When people are like, "What's your favorite movie of all time?" It's like Shawshank and like Jurassic Park and
mine is Men on Fire.
And
that's a good movie too.
Like just classic movies, A Few Good Men. I'm saying
all the bummers,
movies.
all the bummers,
The Godfathers, The Untouchables, like gangster movies.
Yeah, Scarface.
Gangs of New York.
The Departed.
Yeah.
So, like, movies like that, Good Will Hunting, typically are, like, that's my favorite movie of all time. But, like,
that's mine is... really judge people.
Mine is Blue Streak.
Start judging their taste.
Where
Damon.
You Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
You like Jason Bourne, too, motherfucker?
Yes, I do.
So... That's why, like, Cool Runnings is just, like, I love that movie. I could watch it all the time. Especially the... You dead?
Nah, man.
So, Alvin, we'll go off to you, and you're number 3 athlete.
My number 3 athlete, Julius Campbell, Remember the Titans, was one of the best quotes in sports movies, and he was actually he became like an All-American in that movie. All-American and all that, and his buddy, his best friend.
I was All-American in that movie.
He was?
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't see you there, but must have been sick.
It was.
He was the other safety that didn't get all the
safety.
Yeah.
He was
strong side.
Strong side, yeah. What kind of power you got? I got soul power. Like that whole entire movie was just great in general. Just seeing how
you Superman.
Damn.
You can't be over here like that was touching. That scene right there was touching. Should I, can't you see? He's my brother.
I remember
that. Completely off. New movie for top 3 sports movies. Fucking Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights. Yeah. I bet none of us have a character on our list though.
They just popped in my head. I was like Booby Miles.
But he got hurt.
I don't play football.
He got hurt in the first game. He didn't even make it through the whole movie playing.
But he had the strongest fucking role.
Well, that's because that movie wasn't written like that. Movie was more about what these kids go through outside of football than them being
retarded. Tearing your ACL,
being retarded,
being super smart. Going
because
to Harvard.
if we were gonna go that way, then the dude, the guy for I know it's not a sports movie, but fuck, Boys in the Hood, the guy who gets Ricky. He was supposed to be like
Ricky,
All-American running back.
He was getting scholarships and everything.
Yeah.
But you did see Booby Miles throw the ball. Saw him catch the ball. You saw him run the ball. Then you saw him tear his ACL a couple times.
And you saw him become a trash man guy
with his brace. That was so sad.
Yeah. And sitting in the car was his granddad.
His uncle. His uncle
just breaking down and crying.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
bruh. I remember watching Remember the Titans, and I'm pretty sure it was Remember the Titans. I gotta fucking now all these football movies.
How about underrated football movie? We Are Marshall.
I don't think.
I feel like that. I feel like nobody gives it. It doesn't get talked about. It's like the way Remember the Titans does, or.
That's because the main character is Matthew McConaughey.
So, what's wrong with that?
It's because he doesn't scream like. It's about the coach.
It's like a different name. It's like you got Matthew McConaughey, then you got Denzel Washington, and it's just like.
But
and then what Denzel had to go through too, like.
Well, We Are Marshall is
like you can't lose a game.
Is a story about Marshall's football team dying in
a
a
fucking plane crash.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're also talking about racism and all that stuff, and he can't lose. If he loses game, like he lost his job. Like he was automatically gonna get replaced.
That's any football coach. They're talking about it in Friday Night Lights too.
If that's any football coach, well, how come Jason Garrett is still the football coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
It's because he cups the ball and strokes his ass.
There you go.
Okay. So Julius coming up on the strong side in number 3
with the soul power.
That's such a good.
You better have
movie.
X-ray vision.
That's one
this
that
ain't coming down, Superman.
They're like Friday Night Lights. I don't rewatch that movie.
Really? I just rewatched it like a month ago.
I only rewatched it because my cousin mentioned Movie Miles.
But like, remember the Titans? I don't turn the channel when that's on.
Oh yeah.
Well, I turn the channel when commercials come on. but I won't be like, just remember the Titans. I watch that movie, like pick it up at any point. And watch the rest of it. And then like you have the underlying stars, Hayden Panettiere playing the coach's daughter.
Ryan Gosling up in that motherfucker. Sorry ass cornerback though.
Donald Faison.
Yeah.
Fucking Faison. Forgot he was in that damn movie.
It's like so many.
I know. And what I was gonna say is I remember watching that movie in 6th grade English class, and my teacher, Miss Clinkscales, was like shutting people up because she hadn't seen it.
Yeah, shut the hell up.
And like she's like crying at the end, and she's like clapping and like applauding the movie, and we're like,
Miss, this is not VHS.
Exactly. Like do people actually cry at movies? Like you do know that this
Don't you have a soul?
is a movie.
Don't you have
Is that a serious question?
I don't cry at movies.
You don't have a soul?
Going back to Movie Miles, I still cry when I see that. When he breaks down in the car.
I might get like I feel the emotions, but I'm not going to like I don't actually sit there and cry at it.
Man, a tear drops when Julius and homeboy are in the hospital.
Yes.
Like,
can't you see that's my brother?
Like, don't you see the resemblance?
I mean, yeah, it definitely pulls at the heartstrings, but like it's like the scene in Coco where he starts singing to Mama Coco.
Cry for that too.
Yeah, it pulls at the heartstrings for me.
The tearjerker, yeah.
But
he jerks back.
All right, Andrew, on to your number 3.
My number 3 was between 2 completely fictional quarterbacks.
What was it?
Honorable mention. I don't even know his name. Adam Sandler.
Paul
Crew. Yes.
I don't even.
I don't remember his name. All I know is that movie was fucking great. I'd say that's a top 3 sports movie.
That's pretty damn good.
That's yeah.
But it's also a remake, so I knock points off for that.
But I think it's better than.
I think it's better than the original.
I think so too, but
you can't knock points if it's better.
How broken is your toy?
He broke it in my nose. It was an accident.
I think he did it on purpose.
Dude, fucking Terry Crews.
Man, so many
Nelly, Michael Irvin,
Burt Reynolds, R.I.P.
Yeah,
Chris Rock.
R.I.P. in that movie.
Caretaker, yeah.
Caretaker.
Michael Irvin.
Kevin Nash.
Nelly.
Kevin Nash.
Stone
Goldberg.
Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, Stone Cold.
Nelly.
Joey Diaz.
Nick Saragusa. I think Tony Saragusa might have been in that movie.
John Turturro.
Yeah, John Turturro.
Yeah.
Should have had that popcorn.
Can of corn.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. Dude, that was a great fucking movie.
They pulled out all the stops.
A month later, he gonna look like Beyonce.
So
that's my honorable mention. My number 3 was gonna go to Shane Falco from The Replacements.
Man, I think that could have been flipped.
It could go either way.
Yeah. I mean, Shane Falco's the better.
He's the better of the quarterbacks. Yeah. He didn't fix the game. Oh no.
Well, how you gonna say that? Because Paul Crew.
No, they both fixed games.
But Shane Falco played professionally.
So did Paul Crew.
Oh yeah, he did make it to the pros, but he didn't really have.
Shane Falco was a fucking scab. Paul Crew wasn't.
That's true.
I felt like they made Paul Cruz seem like he was like an elite quarterback that was fixing games because of.
Well, that's what Shane Falco was too. In college.
Yeah, but I was in college. But I felt like the pro levels they made Paul Crew up here, and then Shane Falco.
Falco was fixing games as a pro quarterback. And I don't think that they were like saying that he was like,
Shane Falco was going against tougher competition. These are actually professional teams he's playing against and beating.
True that. Not
prison guards.
Yeah,
well,
true.
also ex NFL players that weren't or weren't drafted.
But there's a reason they weren't drafted.
Turned into security guards.
It was an amateur fucking team of security guards.
Yeah.
Prison guards, I'm sorry.
I also think that Shane Falco was a little more mobile. He could get outside the pocket.
And he's also a lot bigger. I want to say
Paul Crew made that run when nobody was blocking for him.
Yeah, but he looked like he was about to have a hernia.
All right, look.
But you know what? Crew had the accuracy.
I was just about to say.
But because that nut shot, two nut shots. But Falco had the more consistent arm because you have more of a serving size to look at.
All right.
He made it to the playoffs as a scab, dog.
I feel you.
With a team of scabs.
But yeah, I mean, like, The Replacements is another one of like, I could say that that's a top 3 football movie. It's like,
yeah, that's one you can't turn away.
Gene Hackman.
Keanu Reeves. Is it Heather Graham?
Oh.
Who's the blonde? No, it's not Heather Graham. That's not a blonde bitch. It's a brunette.
I don't remember the actress who plays
that linebacker that was also a policeman.
John Favreau.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
it's fucking John Favreau. I
got you the ball. But yeah, it's such a good
Face on Love
movie.
Face on Love. Any fucking football movie, Face on's alignment.
with his Asian sumo buddy.
Yeah.
Also eating eggs.
Home. Damn, bro, you need to chew that.
All right, well, go number 2 now, Andrew.
My number 2.
Bring it back.
Taking it away from football, bringing it to baseball, MLB, Cleveland to be exact. Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn, Major League.
Wow,
dude.
The haircut is iconic.
The haircut's iconic, man.
The glasses.
The dangle earring.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the swap of the roles? Went from starting pitcher to relief pitcher. Throwing them heaters.
Dude, just everything about that player, the image, the fucking lights.
It was what like create it almost.
That's what MLB wants to be.
Actually, I think that's what created Trevor Hoffman and Mariano Rivera. Like Ricky Vaughn, the character, was what those guys ended up being because Wild Thing, like once the 9th inning hit. And that music started playing. The crowd got into it. Like, everybody was singing. And when you had, I believe it was For Whom the Bell Tolls, when Trevor Hoffman came in and Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman from Mariano.
So fucking iconic. And, these are the 2 best closers ever.
I think Wild Thing also, like, sparked, like, people, even batters, to have, like, that iconic, like
the walk-up song.
Yeah, the walk-up.
I was gonna say, do pitchers pick their own? Like, did Mariano be like, "Yo, I want to walk up to Enter Sandman"?
I think there was a discussion about it, but I don't know this. I haven't. If there is a story, I haven't seen it. I'm sure there is a story because he was doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
And he was.
Yeah, he got that one of those nicknames too because he was just shutting people down, like putting them to sleep.
Put them to sleep.
Well, it was
man.
It kind of was also that he was breaking a lot of bats with the cutter, and so he was sawing them down and turning them into like sawdust and sawdust.
He was sanding them.
Yeah,
that's salt. Stupid. Sawdust. He's like salt.
Sandman does don't make you go to sleep.
Sandman does.
Sprinkle.
Bring me a dream.
Yeah, Ricky Vaughn. I mean, Charlie Sheen did such a good fucking job.
Oh yeah,
too. And
I think that was the perfect point in his career for that movie.
Yeah.
He was fucking hot. He was.
Well, he also did that other baseball movie too. It was about the White Sox.
Moneyball.
No. He did. He did. Eight Men Out.
Yeah, that one. It was about the White Sox. Like
the 1918. Chicago White or 1919 Chicago White Sox with I think it's Billy White Shoes Johnson, where they threw games for
the Black Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was 8 Men Out. But yeah, Charlie Sheen did such a good. That
movie has so many actors up in there too.
Right. So that I'll throw out my honorable mention because I didn't want to pick another character from a movie that we already had because I was gonna put Willie Mays Hayes, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. With the gloves.
Because like to kind of compare him to another athlete from a movie we've already discussed. He was like the receiver from The Replacements, where he was just so fucking fast.
But he just couldn't catch a fucking ball.
But this one, he couldn't hit the ball.
He couldn't hit, so he had to start bunting and getting on.
Because he kept trying to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Yep.
And kept uppercutting. Up in there in the batting cage.
Shit. Oh, speaking of which, I hear the news about Bryce supposed to be signing this week?
Either with the Phillies or the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Is it going to be, does he want to be something long-term or does he want to win?
I think Phillies is going to be forced to up the price.
And they said it's already over 3.
Yeah.
I think I heard it was $350 right now.
That's from the Phillies, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years, $350.
But they're afraid that the Dodgers will offer him a little bit more.
For the 1 year?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy that he hasn't signed.
Well, now the Arenado extension.
The price is about to go up too.
Such a good call.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Alvin, you're number 2.
My number 2, going back to more classics, Benny the Jet. Like back in the day, like when you playing ball with your boys and all that stuff, like that's what
shoes was he wearing?
Like the dude.
Come on, man.
You know how many people like he's wearing Chucks?
Yeah.
No,
motherfucker, it's PF Flyers.
Yeah.
Like make you run faster and jump higher.
A fictional baseball player made an iconic shoe in real life. Like that's how good Benny the Jet was, and that's how.
Well, they're real shoes too.
Well, I know. I'm saying like,
but he made them popular.
He made when people think PF Flyers now, they think Chuck Taylors, and 2 think Benny the Jet.
Make you run faster.
But I feel like
right. You got the boys, and you just hit the ball around.
Benny the Jet. It's like it's one of those MVPs where you give it to the best player on the best team because like The Sandlot, as far as movie goes, like it's a stacked sports movie. Like every kid in the 90s who watched The Sandlot like can pretty much just read you the script.
Yeah, man, we played baseball, then we dipped. Although they chewed.
The great
chewed, yeah.
Bambi.
They chewed.
What?
The stupid deer?
the Sultan of Slot? The Colossus of Clout?
I thought you said the great Bambi.
Even taught people how to make a s'more. Like,
yeah.
You know,
How can I have some more if I haven't had any yet?
That was fucking Casey.
Oh, it is squid?
I know.
That's fucking Casey.
Hey,
that's why it sounds so good when
I was like, damn, that was fucking spot on.
The most iconic scene, squid.
Yeah.
Pretending to drown.
Hell yeah.
Off the girl he likes, yeah. And then they say he ends up marrying her. Like, boy, get it. Play it.
James Earl Jones.
Oh, yeah, but all of the memorabilia.
He's the owner of the Beast.
Yes.
The blind guy who had pictures with Babe Ruth.
He's all like, you mean Hercules?
Baby Ruth.
It was my dad's baseball. by some girl named Baby Ruth.
They put a fucking connects.
Those are the fucking fancy ones too. Those are the metal ones.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was his. He got that from his house. He built that.
I was like, Casey had that shit.
No, I played video games. I didn't build things. I had Legos.
Everybody had Legos.
I sucked it.
Yeah.
I just did
Jacob's got
walls.
Legos.
I just did a wall.
I just built the Great Wall of China.
I got the tools. I don't have the imagination.
So Yeah, the Sandlot is like Benny the Jet's the best player on that Sandlot team.
Is he though?
You throw like a girl. What did you say? That was like the most like disrespectful thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Now you say that,
you get in trouble.
Sued.
You get fucking Me Too'd.
So
he assaulted me with those words.
Continuing to go off the rails like I normally do with my sports and athletes. My number 2 is Ty Webb, aka Chevy Chase in Caddyshack. He could have been like a professional golfer in Caddyshack.
He fucking could have. He was real just like, yeah.
But he was like, he had that Office Space mentality where he just like hung out and played golf and just chilled.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even take it serious.
There's the scene. So Bill Murray and Chevy Chase hated each other. They only have one scene together in that entire movie, and that was because the makers of the movie were like, we can't have our 2 biggest stars in this movie not have a scene together.
Don't they still hate each other?
It wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, Bill Murray's character goes into the little like garage layout that Ty Webb has, and there's just like thousands of dollars of checks just laying around and all this just junk. Like he could have, and then he's teaching kids how to play golf and beating everybody in the club at golf, and like he was the best character in that movie. When that movie, he was like the 3rd leading character. That movie was about Noonan being a caddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was actually written by Bill Murray's brother.
Tim. Burton.
I can't think of his name. But it was like it was loosely based off of a true story about the Murrays being like living next to a golf course and caddying over the summer.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of who wrote that damn movie? Well, I'm gonna pull up who wrote this movie. Oh, Brian Doyle Murray and Harold Ramis.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
He gone.
But
he gone.
Yeah. The like, to me, well, it's the second most iconic scene to me, because the first, like the main iconic scene from Caddyshack is Bill Murray with the Flowers doing his monologue, and it's spacing on me what the name of that monologue is. And then he goes, "It's in the hole, it's in the hole." And that was completely made up. He just, there was no, like, they needed filler.
Yeah.
And he goes, give me
the ball.
Pretty much. He said, just film me. And he just went off and did this whole monologue and this whole story, and it became like the iconic scene. But the scene that I'm talking about with Ty Webb is when he's discussing life with Danny Noonan, and he's putting the ball, like putting all the balls, and he's just giving off these little philosophical ideals, and he hits all these putts, dancing around the putting green, just na 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 na, and then he misses one, and he like does his whole spiel and hops one golf ball over the golf ball in front of it and makes it, and it's just an incredible scene of a golf movie. And Caddyshack's also like my second favorite movie of all time, so like it's more of the sentimental value for me that like this movie holds, and that's why Ty Webb's number 2. And then to continue the boomerang, I'll finish up. my number one movie athlete is Billy Hoyle from White Men Can't Jump.
Just because he had Rosie Perez.
No, not in
She won Jeopardy also.
She did win Jeopardy.
That's only because she knew a bunch of Q words.
She was smart.
I know.
Smart enough to win.
But you know, I watch White Men Can't Jump, and I'm like,
this is me.
This is me.
This is me.
I'm the guy playing the 2-on-2 pickup games.
I can't jump.
Sitting outside shooting 3-pointers. Pick and roll. Like where everybody else is going 1-on-1 and like talking shit. I'm like, pass me the ball.
You got the pumps too.
I'm open.
Yeah, the pumps.
Rain Man.
Everything was good form and like
you gotta make an outside shot.
Everything was good.
Nah. To the mother one.
And he throws the hook shot.
Yeah. To get her off the Jeopardy.
But see, that's kind of how I think it could have been for me. Is I could have gone around a bunch of neighborhoods because I was a little short, fat white kid, getting picked last in basketball, but beating everybody on the court. Maybe not everybody, but. I mean, we played a lot of 5-on-5, and if you have a scrub-ass team, you're not going to beat anybody.
And then you hustle them out for the money. Put money on the game.
It also doesn't help when you're 4'11" going up against somebody who's like 6'4".
That's stupid. That's terrible life choices.
I don't even want to play no more.
It's not my fault I didn't grow until like freshman year of high school. But Woody Harrelson did such a great job as portraying this character. I mean, it's another. I had Willie Mays Hayes as my honorable mention, so Wesley Snipes is the other end of this movie. And it's just
the better athlete too.
Yeah, better all around athlete.
Kind of,
and was in better shape.
That's one of
he could jump.
Could shoot.
Oh, he couldn't play basketball. That's the director.
Wesley Snipes in real life.
The director was like, yeah, like we had to they made him.
He's like Stanley from The Office playing basketball.
No, he's has this look, so that they tried to make they like
that's racist, dude.
Portrayed this character. Dark. Well, it was the whole thing. The shorts, the double tank, the hat. Like
he looks like a fucking runner.
He looks like Darius Bannock.
A runner, a fucking cyclist.
Yeah. But I mean, this is when I was listening to the Rewatchables podcast when they were discussing this movie and they were talking about like Wesley Snipes and how like if you watch White Men Can't Jump, like he's a terrible basketball player. Like he was obviously worse than Woody Harrelson's character. Like he wasn't better at basketball than Woody Harrelson. He was just more athletic. But like he's the one that was he was getting dusted on defense, and he was a terrible ball handler and trying to do like he was like the N1 mixtape tour where he was trying to do like 360 layups and make it look fancy.
Damn, you know who would have been good on this list? Hot Rod.
No.
Stunt man, he's essentially an athlete.
No.
Yeah.
He's not even a good stuntman.
What?
I hate that movie, so.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I love that movie.
You're a terrible stuntman. Oh, I heard you the first time. This is really mean. Babe, come back. Babe. So you chode? What are you doing here?
I mean, if we want to go that way, we could have said like Nacho Libre.
Wrestling is a sport.
Right. I mean, he's not a good wrestler.
And they kind of squeeze.
Golden Eagle, give me your powers.
Hey, John.
It didn't give me no nutrients.
All right, Alvin. Who's number one on your list?
Well, since we're all throwing honorable mentions out, I'm going to throw my honorable mention. It's Kenny Tyler from The Sixth Man. You want to talk about a movie that plays with your heartstrings. watch that one, even though it's more on the comedic side.
That is the one where the brother passes away and powers up the other one.
Yup. Like, just get inside. He'll just be in his
I watched
body,
that movie for the first time in Port Aransas in my aunt's timeshare house. It was one of those movies where you remember when you watched it for the first time.
Exactly. But my number one will go to Willie Beeman.
Steamin' Willie Beeman.
I mean, that was like probably like one of the rawest like football movies made. You got like Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah,
like all about like.
Hey, to be fair, Lawrence Taylor is
Tom
also
Cruise,
in The Waterboy.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
He is. But I mean, like, that's
wait,
like,
what?
that's like the inside of like actual like football with the coke and like risking your body to just get that bonus.
Yeah.
Like, man, and then you got the player that he knows he's good.
That movie couldn't be made today. No. Because the NFL would be like, no.
It'd be fine. They made a movie about the whole concussion shit, and NFL just like.
Well, that was like.
Good luck beating us.
That was real, like.
That was actual true story.
Yeah.
Still, it's even worse.
I mean, if a movie is going to be made about like that, like Any Given Sunday, it would have to be like a biopic about one of those, like one of the guys who had to go through this.
You're gonna have to like go to like a Cowboys team where they're all just like doing coke on the field and all this.
Yeah, like
they did that. It's a 30 for 30 called The U.
Or like the 30 for 30 that they just did on Deion Sanders. Like, he was part of all that, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, he also, the scene where Willie Beeman throws up out on the field and stuff, like Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
But he wanted Donovan
Varsity
McNabb.
Blues?
Hey, Varsity Blues. But that's because they went out drinking at a strip club.
Where the teacher worked at.
What's their science teacher?
That whipped cream bikini. R.I.P.
Not another teen movie was on TV a couple weeks ago, and I was watching it, and I was like, started looking at the IMDb page at the cast, and I was like, Chris Evans is in both.
He is.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
I was like, I know he was in Varsity Blues. Yeah, that's right. He was in fucking not another teen movie. Did he play the same fucking role?
The concussion.
Yeah, it's what, Billy Ray or
Billy Ray?
Billy Ray, yeah. Billy Ray, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
Yeah, one of those.
Whatever.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
I'm just a token black guy.
But yeah, Willie Beeman was definitely somebody I thought about putting on my list, but it was like one of those guys is going to have it on their list, so I'll go off the map because it's such an iconic role, and like I think Jamie Foxx doesn't get enough credit for that his role. Acting chops.
Like, really? I think he gets all the credit.
I think he got more praise after Ray.
He definitely got a lot of praise.
Well, because that was his. But I would say that would be his hardest role. That was his most not memorable. Maybe more memorable.
That is.
But he did. I think it's called the Pianist, where he was the homeless musician with.
Oh no, that's
cello.
The Pianist is with Adrian Brody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's homeless and Robert Downey. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He suffers from schizophrenia and all that.
Yeah.
And he was just playing the violin with just like 2 strings.
Yeah. Yeah. What about Will Smith, Muhammad Ali?
What about Will Smith in that golf movie? I forgot what it was called.
Bagger Vance. But he was the caddy.
Yeah,
Matt Damon was the golfer.
Yeah,
fucking Matt Damon movie.
It was more about the caddy because he taught Matt Damon how to golf.
I thought Matt Damon taught him how to golf.
You do realize that that's kind of the job of the caddy, is to tell somebody, tell the golfer like story.
What. That's a lot of true stories.
Truth.
Oh yeah, Jamie Foxx was also in Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
He was the lawyer.
What about Collateral? Jamie Foxx in Collateral with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a movie where Tom Cruise was the hitman.
Yep.
Like for whatever reason, like Jamie Foxx playing Django.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's great.
The D is silent. Dude, yeah, like Jamie Foxx gets the credit he deserves. He just hasn't really made a movie like that in a minute.
That's the
Yeah,
movie.
Soloist.
But like his role in Horrible Bosses and Horrible Bosses 2, where he's the criminal.
Motherfucker Jones.
He's scamming them.
So I mean, any given Sunday, his role there, and
I mean, with all those star actors and actresses in that movie too, like, hey, he like had a main role.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant, The Princess Bride.
George Murazan. He.
I mean, The Rock and like
Walking.
All his movies.
He's
got something to do with football in every movie.
The game plan. All right, Andrew, let's wrap this up. Before we go off the rails talking about Tooth Fairy and shit.
Hey, he did ballerina shit.
Are we considering driving or sports too, like Toretto?
Well, I mean, racing is
if we're going to
Racing
if
is a
we're going to
sport.
go racing, there's only one real answer, and that's Ricky Bobby. Because
if you wait first, you last.
Exactly.
Sound like you got peanut butter at the top of your mouth.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake.
Fuck it.
Is there a stupid name, or are you just jealous that you didn't come up with it? You're right. That's an awesome name.
That's an awesome name.
They're pancakes.
They're just really thin pancakes. These colors don't run.
That movie's always on TV.
We're going to do it right here.
Always on TV.
We're going to do it right here. Don't worry about it.
Don't you put all that on me, big Ricky Bobby.
If I could walk, can I do this?
They grow up to have their legs taken away from them. I'm on fire. Help me, Oprah. Tom Cruise. Oh, Tom Cruise, Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You wouldn't. You're not. It's not your type of movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of. I mean, Sean Astin.
I'm surprised you knew
Playing
Beggar Vance.
Rudy.
I'm surprised. I
Rudy,
didn't
yeah.
think
What about no? It was just a basketball court.
it was just a basketball.
I was gonna say Finding Forrester.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say like Mike.
Yeah, Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah.
Calvin Coolidge.
Juwanna Man.
Is it Calvin Coolidge? Because that's a president's name.
It's Calvin. I know that.
That's Calvin Coolidge. It's a president's name.
My shoes are
What kind of fucking president's name Calvin Coolidge?
Cambridge.
Cambridge.
My shoes are broken. Can't play ball.
Okay, so wrap it up. Andrew, who's number one?
Wrap it up, B.
Gonna go to
Wrap it up.
Danny Glover. Angels in the Outfield.
Hey.
Nah, I'm just playing.
Oh, I thought Angels in the Outfield.
I got Happy Gilmore.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Hey, that's two Adam Sandler movies, right? That we got on the list.
I don't know. It was just.
No, we talked
Oh, no,
about
it was
honorable mention.
Honorable
That's right.
mention.
There you go.
I mean, he does play an athlete in like 6 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, he in
He was
Longest
a high
Yard, he was a quarterback. He also
Played
hooped
back.
in that movie.
Yeah.
He did hoop in that movie, yeah.
He got smashed on by Michael Irvin.
Is that a foul?
Nah, dog, that's clean.
We didn't get the whole chocolate store, but we got a Hershey Kiss.
That was really how it was for me on the basketball.
I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got fries. Cross your eyes.
I got
burgers.
Man, I got burgers.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore, you know, the 400-yard drive and the hockey stick putter.
Saved
Being
his
able to
grandma's house.
hit it off of a Volkswagen Beetle.
The alligator eating the hand.
The alligator in heaven.
Like, it every time it makes me laugh so hard when he drops off his mom to the senior home for the first time, and Ben Stiller comes busting through the door.
Oh, he was all sexual with her and stuff. He was like, yeah, we're gonna get to know each other real well.
I almost went with dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Yeah. So many good sports movies and so many funny athletes and like
Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, fucking retarded. Retarded.
He was a marathon runner. He was a football player.
Ping pong
champion.
What else? Dude, he took everything. Cross country, literally.
Yeah.
I just felt like running.
You never go full retard.
Never go full retard.
I love you, Jenny.
You're my friend.
Tropic.
We will.
That is fucking.
What do you mean, you people?
I'm the dude that's playing the dude that's dressed up like the other dude.
Fucking Tom Cruise. Man.
The end credits. The credit scene.
Who's the key grip? I want you to punch him really fucking hard in the face.
Danny McBride.
Big ass titties. Dude, I fucking love that movie.
Did you just say no? I think you said no. Yeah. Jizz everywhere.
What was the drink? Is it booty sweat?
Booty sweat. Bust a nut bar.
He's like, you have somebody like that back home? Yeah, Lance. Who?
Lance.
I said Nance.
Matthew McConaughey. I'm gonna get you that TiVo.
He's like, he said, that's all right. We all go the other way every now and then.
All right. Well,
yeah, at least you got to pick your
let's
kid.
Let's get into. Let's finish up with some real sports, like Bryant Gumbel, and do On Fire and Dire and Prophecies. The movie conversation is always fun. So that was a blast. So my On Fire, I mean, kind of sports related, really not. It's Spike Lee getting his first Oscar. Where it's the Academy Awards being like, hey, you remember how we've always kind of screwed you over for years? Yeah, let's just kind of make this right and let's give you an Oscar. Because he should have had one a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, so many movies.
And
the only thing that sucks is it doesn't really suck. It's just the way the shit is. He only give one Oscar of each fucking category. So, yeah. I mean, he did deserve an Oscar, but you also got to look back at who else he was going against.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio just got a fucking Oscar. People thought he was really retarded in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
He
thought he was.
I think he deserved the Oscar more for his role in Inception than The Revenant.
Oh yeah, The Revenant was the worst movie he could win an Oscar for.
But that was like another thing too.
He should have won. You should have won it this time. We're gonna give it to you this time.
His
role in Wolf of Wall Street, like he's so
that should have won. Yeah,
The Great Gatsby, he was good at.
But that being said, this Spike Lee movie was fucking amazing. Did you watch it, Black Klansman?
I didn't watch it.
Did you watch Black Klansman?
No. Oh, no. That's
honestly the only movie that was for an Oscar that I watched was Black Panther. That is literally the only movie that won an award that I actually watched.
Really?
I don't watch movies.
You didn't even watch Bow? It was a short film.
No.
It was a short film.
It was at the end of Incredibles 2.
I didn't watch Incredibles 2.
Oh, man, it's a good movie.
I haven't seen that one either.
I've watched it 100 times.
And the only reason I watched Black Panther is because I felt like I was being like shamed in not watching it.
How you feel shamed about not watching that, but didn't feel nothing about not watching Black Klansman?
Well, I know the story of Black Klansman.
You know the story of Black Panther too.
It's true, but I also watch all the Marvel movies.
So that's the key thing. It was a Marvel.
Yeah.
That's I mean, I will watch Black Klansman. I still haven't watched Get Out. Like that's how behind I am on.
You are not an ally.
I did see the trailer for the new one.
Us.
Us.
That movie looks fucking scary.
There's a family outside.
I was like, fuck no.
I mean, it
Jordan
does,
Peele really made fucking I Got Five on it just scary.
it does kind of remind me of The Strangers.
Yes, that's the movie too.
Except more mental.
Yeah. More psychological.
Yeah, psychological, that's the word.
Well, because this one you got kids too that's over there trying
Well,
to...
that, and they tell you in the movie, oh, it's us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hold the fuck up. This isn't some strangers that are just have masks on. This is ourselves.
Yeah. But to finish on my Spike Lee point, and kind of one of the other reasons I put him on the fire line, other than the winning the award, he also probably had I think the best moment of the Oscars when Samuel L. Jackson comes out and announces the award. And before he announces the award, he goes, and the New York Knicks, after an 18-game home losing streak, beat the Spurs tonight, and they pan to Spike Lee, and he goes, we trying to tank! And then he wins the award, runs up on stage, and Dirty Dancing jumps into Samuel L. Jackson's arms.
Has Samuel Jackson been nominated?
I think so. I think he got...
Has he won?
For which movie though?
That's what I'm saying.
Snakes on a Plane?
Snakes on a Plane? Get the fuck out of here.
Black Snake Moan.
That was a good fucking movie.
I think he got
Christina
nominated
Ricci?
for that. I thought he almost got nominated for Django, but I think they nominated
I think that was DiCaprio.
German guy.
Yes.
I can't remember the actor's
Hans.
name. The actor's name.
Hans. Forgot his fucking name, say shit.
So, Alvin, who's your on fire?
My fire, gonna take it to the eSports realm. TSM going 4-0. They went 2-0 last week, and they went 2-0 this past week as well. They beat the number one team, the only team to beat the number one team in their league so far. So they've been.
This is League of Legends, by the way.
Yeah, League of Legends.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No, I'm just saying for the audience that don't know. He just said esports.
Okay.
Yeah, TSM League of Legends squad went 4-0. So now they're sitting pretty on the third. So
Dog, straight up, since whenever you play, they'll give you you watch 3 of our games either on demand or live, and we'll give you some blue essence, right?
Yeah.
I'll play a game on my laptop. And on my computer, I'll put the fucking video on demand, so I'm doing it at the same time. And then once I hear it's whom? Okay, cool. Close that. Next one.
Before we move on to Andrew's on fire, one nomination.
One nomination for what? Jackie Brown?
No.
Jackie.
Best Supporting Actor, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
I knew it was one of those fucking movies.
All right.
I was like,
He's in 200.
well, those are Tarantino movies, though.
Yeah. I mean, he was Shaft. He was Coach Carter.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, man.
So that's the only Academy Award nomination he has. In his entire career, he has one Academy Award nomination.
Didn't even win.
But he's been in the most movies than anybody.
He has 4 Golden Globe Award nominations.
For Nick Fury.
No. Best Supporting Actor, Pulp Fiction. Best Supporting Actor, A Time to Kill. Best Actor, Jackie Brown. And he's...
That's a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, all of his awards are... well, not all of them. Most of his awards are in the African American culture. So it's like the BAFTA, Black Reel, NAACP Image Awards. He has 0 Golden Globes,
NAACP Image Awards,
0 magazines,
0 Academy Awards. He has a couple Independent Spirit Awards, and 1
Crying Monkey Award. Isn't that the fucking thing
one
from
MTV Movie
Tropic
Award?
Thunder?
Yeah.
The coveted Beijing Crying Monkey Award.
So definitely not enough awards for one of the most prominent actors of the last 35 years. You're on fire, Andrew.
Holy shit!
No, literally.
My fire, I got Giannis, dog.
Giannis.
Baby Shaq.
Yeah, man. The last 2 games against Boston, against Minnesota, he put up 30, 13, and 6. Against Boston, 27, 10, and 7. Excuse me.
And a sneeze.
Bless it.
Against Minnesota.
That's how you know he's blessed. Got you.
Bless up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do
man,
you have him
Giannis.
number 1 in your MVP, or you have Paul George?
I still got James Harden.
No,
James Harden.
Giannis by far.
I still got James Harden. Not by far. I won't say Giannis by far.
He is Milwaukee without Giannis is a sub 500 team.
Okay, but they don't give it to you based on that. They'll give it to the player that's really showing up.
And is it not Giannis who's doing something that
they got
It is,
last article I read, Paul George is in the lead for that he jumped up.
In actual,
favorite.
this is gonna be the normal fucking the value. What is value?
Yeah.
But I mean, let's call it what it is. The best player award.
Yeah, it is.
And I'd give it to James Harden.
I guess the player with the best stats.
32 straight games, fucking 30 plus points.
because he had to.
But he did what he had to.
Giannis also has to do what he does, and Giannis is putting up overall better statistics because if you also look at the other side of the ball,
I don't look at the other side of the ball.
He could honestly win both MVP and Defensive Player.
Nobody cares about defense this year.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
You see how many people play defense this year? Not many.
Yeah, nobody cares about fucking defense.
The teams that aren't caring about defense or are playing poor defense
are tanking.
Are the Spurs, and look what they did on the rodeo road trip. The Lakers, they're not playing much defense.
They're not playing much in general.
The worst teams are the teams that aren't playing much defense. So, the teams like Boston and Toronto and Philly and Milwaukee and Golden State, Denver even, they all have decent to good defenses.
Championship defense.
But the defenses aren't. The defense isn't really anything this year when you're scoring 130 points on the regular.
So I think
offense has jumped up.
I think it's a misnomer and poor defensive play, because if you're a team that scores 135 points, you're also going to be giving the opponent a lot of chances at scoring as well. So you would have to break it down into per 100 possessions, because if you're scoring 135 and the other team scores 118, I wouldn't say that was necessarily bad defense that you gave up 118. It was they had a lot more chances to score than a game normally would. And that's why when you see a team that only scores 110, the scores are 110 to 95 or something like that, where just because one team scored 110, the other team had limited possessions. And so if I would have to break down the numbers as far as how many shots are taken in the game in which a team scores 140, but
these are made up numbers, man. I'm telling you, the numbers that are real are the ones that scores at the finals.
And
130, 115. I mean, that's
the Action Network posted 1 day ago MVP odds. Giannis overtakes Harden as heavy favorite. Giannis's numbers and what he's doing this year are absolutely ridiculous. Harden's scoring numbers are insane, but he's also, his usage rate is higher and the amount of shots he takes is higher. He almost scored 30 last night, going 0 for 10 from 3. Just because he scored 30 points or more in 32 straight games, that's like saying, oh, Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double. James Harden is built to score the basketball, so we shouldn't be surprised when he scores. But the thing is, everybody has those off nights, and he went 32 games without having an off night like that. He had a lot of off nights. He just shot the ball 30 times.
But he still put up those numbers. He was winning too.
Russell Westbrook puts up 40. Kobe Bryant put up 40 points for like 8 straight games, shooting the ball like 35 times a night.
But that's 8 games. This is 32. That's 4 times as many fucking games.
And 10 less points.
Still.
With more 3-point attempts. I really don't want to have to do the numbers game.
Because you fucking make up numbers.
The last time I checked, a 3-point shot is 1 more point than a 2-point shot.
Yeah, and he almost, like you said, he almost put up 30 points with an 0 for 10 from 3-point line. It's the reason
why when people are like the unanimous MVP year with Steph, when they were like, he made 400 threes. I'm like, he took almost 1,000 threes. Like, he is the greatest shooter of all time. If you let Ray Allen or Reggie Miller shoot 1,000 threes in one season in their career, I will guarantee you that they make over 400. But it's the mass volume.
It's just a matter of no one's done it.
Giannis is putting up 27.
It's a new league.
12.7, 6, 1.4, 1.5. 1.4 steals, 1.5 blocks. His numbers are absurd. And it's also, he's on the best team in the NBA record-wise. But who's his second best player on the team?
Middleton.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton. Like, we're not saying it's his second best player is Kevin Durant or Steph Curry. I mean, for the point with Harden, like, I'm completely in the corner that Harden is number 2 in MVP because what he has done for the Rockets this year puts him in the MVP conversation.
Even with Chris Paul being hurt.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is Chris Paul was hurt, they were struggling, and then Harden realized that he had to put on Superman cape and get them to what they're the 3 seed, 4 seed in the West.
Something like that.
Where Giannis from game 1 has been
balling,
the best player this season. From day 1. And while I look at these numbers, I want to pull up one last number about Giannis. Alvin, or Andrew, I guess, follow it up with your Dyer, because we need to get to Dyer.
My Dyer. It's the Lakers. Again. Dude, the team's falling apart. It's in their fucking head.
It's in their head, or
the whole trade talk's in their head. And LeBron talking about it is making it any easier. It seems like everybody's on the hot seat.
That Anthony Davis trade talk ruined the chemistry of that squad.
Yeah, I told you it fucking would. Yeah, just these guys are kids, man. I mean,
and these guys are fragile too. Like,
it's. But at the same time, how many players do you have to see be told they're gonna be the face of a franchise and then get traded? D'Angelo. They fucking told him this is gonna be your team.
Yeah.
They fucking shipped him off to Brooklyn. He's fucking balling.
Well, so to be fair to the Lakers, they traded D'Angelo Russell for one reason and one reason only: to get rid of the Timofey Mozgov contract. And to clear up, because they were slow playing the whole we're getting LeBron James and Paul George thing.
But it was also was it Byron
thing where he
Byron Scott.
Wasn't Byron Scott fucking coaching at the time, and he was just straight benching him. He wouldn't even just give him a chance.
Yeah.
It was like Jeannie Buzzard saying, "Hey, nah, you're good. Don't worry, this is your team." But
I think that was before Jeannie took over. I think that was still when Jim Buss
was that Jim telling him. But either way, someone's telling him this is gonna be your team, and fucking Byron Scott just, nah, dude, don't even. DMP coach decision.
It's like
multiple
Lonzo.
Games.
It's like Lonzo now.
Yeah.
Magic's like, he's gonna be the face of our franchise. He's gonna break many of my records.
Mm-hmm. And now it's just like shit.
Luke had him on the bench like, nah, bro.
Yeah, so it's just like shit, man. I feel like none of those players feel safe on that team. They don't feel comfortable, especially with LeBron being there. LeBron talking to the media about it.
Mm-hmm. putting everybody on blast.
And then you got the Lakers taking down LeBron's fucking Nike banners off of Staples Center today. So it's like, shit, man. It's like everybody's on the hot seat. LeBron's losing banners. The kids lost their confidence. Luke Walton's getting threatened by the media.
Yeah, everybody's all like, when's Luke Walton?
Pressure's going to be on fucking Magic soon.
And Pelinka.
Yeah, more Pelinka than Magic. Because...
But Pelinka doesn't make moves without Magic, though.
Yeah.
So they're together.
Yeah.
Pelinka's just a straight Fallout guy.
Just like
I don't know how many times we have to watch in sports that it doesn't work when you don't have one solid piece, like, being the head executive making, like, decisions. Like, it's okay to get input from LeBron and Magic, and, like, it's okay to get input from other people that you're going to be working with, but at the end of the day, if you look at, you know, some of the best teams in history, and you look at the people pulling the strings on those teams, it's
Pat Riley.
It's one guy. It's R.C. Buford, and then before R.C. took over, it was Pop. You look at what Jerry West was able to do with the Lakers and the Grizzlies and the Warriors.
Danny Ainge with the Celtics.
But Myers is with the Warriors. He's their main GM, and like he talks to Steve Kerr, and they get, you know, they bounce ideas off of each other. But at the end of the day,
you get final say.
Yeah,
and it's not like that.
Even Larry Bird, when he had the Pacers as a playoffs team, like he was the one making the decisions.
Yeah, that Paul George and trash bag.
I mean,
yeah, the reason why he dropped down was because Paul George was leaving.
Larry Bird didn't draft very well. He I think he lucked into Paul George because Paul George wasn't supposed to be the player that he became. He was just kind of. He was a 3-and-D guy coming out of Fresno State and turned into an all-around player while he grew into his frame. But, I mean, a lot of the GMs have, like, that we think are, like, great GMs and great executives also had to go through their rough patches. Danny Ainge doesn't have a perfect track record as far as putting pieces together.
Well, no, because, I mean, he had those down years with the Celtics.
He had down years with the Suns.
Yeah, the Suns.
Isaiah Thomas had a terrible track record for the Knicks, but I think that was also the Dolan area. But the Lakers, I don't think have one. They don't have one person that's really in charge, because it's like I would personally say, as an outsider and somebody who's watched LeBron do what he's done for years, just let LeBron say, like, just say, all right, LeBron, who do you want?
That's what they did.
But I don't think that's actually what they did.
Not this time. Not with the Lakers. They did it with Cleveland, but he's not doing it right now.
Definitely with Cleveland.
Not doing it now.
He signed up on the Rondo deals, the Lance, the Michael Beasley, KCP, because of course he was with Clutch.
Right.
Like, he signed off on all
Wasn't
those
KCP
signings.
already there?
He was already there, but he decided to keep him because that's his buddy.
But I also don't think that I don't think there was much back and forth. Like, it just that whole front office just seems discombobulated.
They are. I feel like a lot of GMs right now are intimidated by the players' power. How much players have a say, because even though you have LeBron to, what is it, a 5-year contract? 4-year contract, he can still request a trade. He can still, so you want to keep your players as happy as you can.
He can't request a trade or else he'll get fined, and eventually there will be repercussions. And if enough players request trades constantly, there will be another strike.
Yeah, it's bound to happen with this Anthony Davis deal. Well, I mean, not the deal, but this whole Anthony Davis, like, whatever it was.
And a lot of the NBA owners, like, we have to also remember the NBA as a business, and, you know, these NBA owners, and even in the NFL and the MLB, like, they make their money elsewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
You only make your money playing basketball. Well, not LeBron.
Unless you're a star player.
But, like...
But either way, your money's going to drop.
Yeah.
From all over.
Yeah, and you're not as marketable because now you're not playing a sport. Like
there's no camera in front of you.
Because if the NBA owners just said, "Now we're good."
Strike.
Yeah, go for it. We don't need to write your checks. Like,
they could do that though.
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying like they could easily do that, and then the players would also go back to realizing, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have been taking such a hardline stance.
But at the same time, like you said, this is a business. This is bad PR. They don't want that mud on their face. Jerry Jones don't give a fuck, but everybody else does. Mark Cuban does. Michael Jordan does. Like, it's all...
Mm-hmm. I think Jordan would be the only owner that, like, would... No, I can't say that, because I think all the NBA owners, they want to keep the league.
Yeah, you don't want a strike. You don't want any kind of interference in that way. But it's just...
Their pockets run so deep that they could...
Like...
They could afford that
So
loss.
to me... Like, I find it hard to, like, watch the Anthony Davis situation and, like, the Kevin Durant situation and Kawhi Leonard. Like, I'm using these three because they seem like Kawhi maybe not as much anymore, but last year with the Spurs, like, they're unhappy and they just are complaining about life when, like... For me, the Anthony Davis thing is like, dude, stay healthy. Like we know how great you are. Like, fully healthy, you are top 3 player in the league talent wise. Like, you can do things that maybe only one other person in the league can do. And but you can't stay healthy, and you're not lifting your team. Like, you've made the playoffs, twice in your career, and you've been hurt all the other years. It's kind of the Bryce Harper thing. Like, we know how good you are, but you're always hurt. You're more show than, like, you're more entertainment value and, like, brand recognition than substance of the player now.
Other like Trout, who's actually, like, super good, but he doesn't.
He's not marketable. It's the whole player empowerment thing is like, I'm all with, but at some point you also have to look in the mirror and see that they're just being...
You're creating this monster.
Babies.
Yeah.
Let's continue forward. Alvin, your Dyer.
Well, my Dyer is piggybacking off of Andrew's, but it's more to LeBron James. I feel like he got to look himself in the mirror. The way he's, like, criticizing the players, his teammates this past few days. Like, I don't know what more is he expecting, because Brandon Ingram's been balling out. Kyle Kuzma's been balling out.
See, that's where I agree with you. I mean, I think that the LeBron quotes have kind of been misconstrued, because there's the quote I think you're talking about is he's calling out the players who haven't been there and, like, they don't have anything to play for.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, who are you talking to? Because the ones that are there are playing for you, are playing with you. They're putting up numbers. Even Reggie Bullock, this past game,
the guys that are playing well are the young guys who have been with the Lakers.
Yeah, so
with
I'm like,
this
who are you
losing
talking
culture.
So I'm like, who are you talking to?
The guys who are failing you are
your veterans,
Lance Stevenson and
JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
And then also him as well. How you expecting players to play for you when I saw a video on YouTube, the last 9 minutes of that Grizzlies game, shooting Steph Curry type threes, airballing it, looking to be bailed out by foul calls or the ball was tipped and all that stuff. And you showed replays, ball's not tipped. And then he's just, like, making, like, poor decisions. And then defense, I keep saying, like, this is why you want to put him against Michael Jordan and stuff. This is why he's not great. They keep talking about, like, well, he's playing 40 minutes and all that stuff. Like, all right, Jordan played those same amount of minutes too. Right. And he gave it all on defense every night.
Yeah.
There's times in that game, he's in the paint, and Muscala is, I think he was guarding Conley or somebody, and they drove it to the hole. Instead of helping out Muscala, he like literally lets the guy run by him. Like no effort. And then even now he's not going out to contest 3-point shooters. Also, he's leaving them wide open in the perimeter, and he's just chilling in the bottom of the paint. Like he's not showing no effort. So how you expect guys to ride with you and die for you or die with you with the boots on, strapped up, to make this activation for this playoff push that he's so-called saying, when he's not giving it on defense at all whatsoever.
So
I feel like he needs to look himself in the mirror.
To be fair, with your whole Jordan and LeBron thing, one, Jordan played 9 years, retired, took 2 years off of basketball. I get 1.5 years. Then came back.
I get that, but he was still
played 3 years.
He was
then
still
retired, and then we don't want to consider the Wizards years because he could score and all that still, but he wasn't the same player he was.
He wasn't, but there was games where he showed
13. That's 13 years of his career in the Chicago Bulls uniform, where he was great offensively, great defensively. You know what year we are in with LeBron James?
And you know what year was the last time he made all-team defense? The last time he made it on the all-team defense?
2010.
2013, yes.
2013.
That's 10 years ago.
That was
7 years ago.
10 years into the league.
Okay.
But
you want to be regarded as the best player in the NBA, and you're not going to play defense.
Well, that's what I was going to say about LeBron. I just wanted to say, it's like, you say Jordan played defense his entire career. He also had a shorter career, didn't play as many minutes, and didn't go like as far into the playoffs every year that LeBron has. Like
that's like LeBron came out of high school too. Jordan was 4 years in college. Three, but like still, like you want to be regarded as the best player.
Yeah,
in the game.
They both didn't make it to the NBA Finals until their 7th year, or didn't win a final until their like 7th year, and all that. Like we can go back and forth and talk about this all day, but I am in agreement that LeBron needs to focus more on defense. Like LeBron, I think, lost sight of
himself.
Lost sight of the NBA, like basketball, and like he has so many other things going on, and you know he signed a 4-year deal, and like he knew that this year was kind of a blow it up year almost.
Yeah, but then he's acting like.
But yeah, he's being a baby about it.
Yeah, but it's the same drama that he brings.
So. When I heard all that stuff, and like when I'm watching the Lakers, because I want to see the Lakers make the playoffs. As odd as that is to say, like the NBA would be good if the Lakers made the playoffs.
What's sad about that too is that Spurs are losing, Kings are losing. Like they got chances still to creep up into a playoff spot, but they play no defense.
Yeah.
Like,
but so if I'm watching this and I'm like, they're fine offensively.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, you don't have to carry the load offensively. Just play defense. Just try to be a defensive anchor.
At least make it look like you're trying. Because like you're just standing there letting them go.
There is to me, there is an argument to also put like Russell Westbrook into the MVP conversation, because while he's shooting terribly,
averaging triple-double,
but I'm not worried about that. But he kind of figured it out. I don't need to score 28 a game anymore because Paul George is lighting it up. I need to get assists, set people up, rebound the ball, push the ball, and play great defense.
Yeah.
And so he plays with energy that nobody else plays with other than like Patrick Beverly. And it's so contagious that the Thunder want to play for him. Like they might lose because of him, but they're not going to be like, hey, Russ, you shot us out of this game, they're going to say, he's going to get us the next time. Like, and they still play for him.
And
where
since
I think the
Lakers
have been, like, they were pretty much castrated with the trade things, and then LeBron coming back and saying, like, complaining and talking shit, kind of doing what Kyrie Irving's doing in Boston. Where it's like, why are these teammates going to want to, like, play for you? Like, you got to realize that if you're getting, if somebody's running a pick and roll, they set the screen on you, you have to depend on your
help side.
Your help defense. Why are they going to want to slide over, like?
And it could be the injury, but ever since LeBron's been back, shooting under 50%, shooting 31 from 3, shooting his worst field goal percentage from the free throw line.
Like I said, he doesn't need to be an offensive threat anymore. Like, for this rendition of the Lakers, he just needs to be a ball handler and passer and a defender. That's what he needs. He has the shooting around him now, but he doesn't have defenders around him. He needs to be the defender, and it might be that he's.
Well, that's why he signed off on the deals that they made. Still
injured and all that, and like Lonzo being out really hurts because Lonzo is a top flight point guard defender and like on ball defender and a good help side defender. That they're missing, but it's a clusterfuck. My dire is the Spurs. They can't make shots, and they are playing terrible defense. And I know it was the rodeo road trip, but typically after the All-Star break, they come out and put on a little run, refresh themselves. They came out of the All-Star break. DeMar, the end of the Toronto game was rough. He played good in that game, but trying to dribble the ball up, getting doubled, losing the ball to Kawhi, giving them the lead, and then getting a step on Danny Green where he could have probably just laid the ball up to take the lead with a few seconds left, stops his dribble, passes it to Bertans, who's forced to shoot this fade away. Like, Bertans is not the guy we want shooting that type of shot. Those shots are reserved at the end of the game for DeMar DeRozan and Rudy Gay and LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, if Bertans had an open three and was set and was ready to shoot, that's one thing. The shot he got, not so much. Losing to the Knicks in the way that they did and just kind of getting demolished, and then following it up, getting demolished by Brooklyn last night. Like, it's kind of pitiful to watch this team. And I mean, Derek White needs to be healthy, because without Derek White, the Spurs have they don't have a creator other than DeMar DeRozan. The offense really is just stagnant. But Bryn Forbes, after playing so well at the beginning of the season, has kind of fizzled out and isn't playing as well. It's rough to be a Spurs fan watching the Spurs team, even though they're still in the playoffs.
Somehow.
They went 1-7 on the rodeo road trip, which hasn't ever happened.
Again, they're lucky because the Kings are losing and the Lakers are losing. The only team that's winning is the Clippers. That's why they're in the 8th seed.
Yeah. And I mean, they're only a couple games out of like the 5th seed even. So, and they have the 2nd or 3rd easiest schedule in the Western Conference down the stretch. So, I mean, I still hold out hope that they make the playoffs, just to continue the streak. But if they continue on this track, them and the Lakers are going to be out of it. And to prophesize, this weekend.
Shit. Forgot to fucking get a prophecy.
UFC.
UFC.
Johnny Bones Jones is back, fighting again. I have him with a KO in the first round.
Who is he fighting this time?
Something Smith.
Sorry, John Smith.
Right.
Anthony Smith. He's 31-13 as a fighter.
You're done, bro.
I mean, yeah, Jones is a good bet. First round is a good bet. I don't know about knockout though. I'd say by submission.
Yeah, fancy about submission.
Nah.
John Jones.
He has knockout power.
He has knockout power. Is either going to be submission or they stop the fight because he's just wailing them elbows on him while he's got him on the ground.
Nope, I have him in knockout because that's what I want to see.
How's he going to knock him out?
I think he's going to get him with an elbow.
An elbow?
Yeah, I think
like
he's going to get him.
Backspin elbow?
Yeah.
If I see him knocking out somebody,
my gut says knee though.
Yeah,
my gut says hitting a knee.
I was like, no, any knockout, yeah, it'd be with the legs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like a roundhouse kick to the dome.
I think I saw Anderson Silva's coming back and fighting again too.
I think he just had a fight.
Did he just have the fight?
I think so.
He had one recently.
A couple weeks back.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be fighting in Brazil.
Yeah, I think it was a couple weeks back he had a fight.
So, Alvin, your prophecy.
My prophecy is going back to TSM and League of Legends. I think this weekend they go 2-0 again, and they will beat the number 2 team in the league, which is Cloud9, to prove that they are a threat as probably as either number 1 or top 3 team for sure in the league.
In the NALCS, but
in the NALCS, yes.
As far as that goes.
As far as We're not talking about worlds.
We're not talking anything.
We're not talking international tournaments.
Where it counts.
We're talking about right here in the States.
So Anderson Silva was on the UFC 234 card. Because that was supposed to be the Whitaker Gastelum fight.
Yeah.
And Silva lost by unanimous decision. Andrew?
Yeah, I don't have a prophecy.
You don't have a prophecy?
I had this shit ready since yesterday, but I was like, oh, fuck, I don't have a prophecy on here.
Even before we started, I was like, and then we'll wrap up with On Fire and Dire and Prophecies.
I had everything. I thought I had
Barcelona plays Real Madrid twice this week.
Cool.
So
I don't know rosters right now.
Give us a Bryce Harper take.
Dude, I gave you my Bryce Harper take. I can't go against it.
It's the same take.
Yeah, it's like can't go against it.
All right. Well, you'll have.
But Randy Gregory just got fucking suspended indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they was talking about David Irving too.
Yep.
We getting suspended as well.
But apparently the Cowboys officer knew about it. They're like, yeah, whatever, figure it out.
They're like, hey,
we want
to relive the glory days of the 90s. We might as well make our team like it.
Right. They're like, shit, the Bud couldn't get out of the system. But
all right,
did.
Well,
I expect
2 prophecies from you next week.
Ooh, that's
we gotta make up for it. So that wraps up this edition of the Benchwarmers podcast. I'm Casey Coggins. As always, I'm joined by Alvin Hebert.
Check y'all.
And Andrew Lira.
I'm ready for a nap.
See you next week. Nap time.